All right. You be quiet. Okay. We are we are gonna do a bit of the wheel and then a bit of the cow catcher here to get you guys started. All right. So the wheel, these are pretty good. Most people have figured out the pegs in here. The wheel. All right. The key to the wheel is this drawing here, guys. This cross section of the shape of it. So let me show you how I go about this. Start a 2D sketch. I'm going to start it on this plane because I'm going to revolve it so it's sitting vertical in here. So I'm going to start on the XZ plane. All right. Then, first thing I'm going to do here, we are going to make, let me see the thickness. I think it's 1/4 of an inch, right? The wheel is 1/4 of an inch thick, and it's 1 inch from a center line out to the outer edge, and it's approximately this circle here. Okay, yeah, this is the trick. See this down here? Bracket 0.28 through. That's the hole through the middle. I'm going to make that at the end. Okay, so basically I'm going to draw a rectangle that is 1 inch in length and 0.25 inches thick. Oops. Rectangle, 1 inch, 0.25 thick. If you hit the tab, it'll bring you to the other dimension, which is kind of cool. All right, I'm going to put a circle at the end of this. All right, snaps to the middle. Tangent. All right, I'm going to trim off what I don't need here. Oops, it says that's got a dimension on it. It won't let me delete it, so I'll delete this dimension. And then I'll trim this off. Okay, what does it say? The curve being trimmed dimension. I already deleted. Oh, it wants me to delete this one as well. All right. The only danger of doing that is it could, if you do the wrong thing, it could end up changing the size of this. Now, I have to do these here, right? So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut off this rectangle here out of there. All right, so it's 0.25 inches and 0.75 inches. So I'm going to make a rectangle. It doesn't matter which side I make it on. I'm kind of doing this reverse, actually. I should have maybe drawn this over here so it looked more like the paper. So what I'm going to do is going to draw a little rectangle in here. All right, then I'm going to dimension it from here to the center is 0.25. Oh, see, it did change my dimension. So let me be careful there. I'm going to redimension this. And I'm going to redimension this. Uh-oh. The radius of this is 0.25 divided by 2. All right, there we go. This to this is 0.75. Oops, what happened there? Control Z. 0.75. I hit 0.25. All right. I'm going to trim off the middle part here. All right. All right. Yeah, I had to click it twice because there was a rectangle on top of a rectangle there. Cool. Finish sketch. I'm going to revolve this now. That profile it automatically selects. Then I click the axis button over here and I'll click here. All right. Okay. Now I got to fillet these edges. Now, there's actually 2 fillets to be done, the top and the inside. 0.125. Let's go check the drawing and see what it tells us about that. Radius 0.063, radius 0.125. So 0.063 should be the radius. You see that? And it says tip, TYP. So that means anything that looks like that should be 0.063 radius. And I selected the edges first and then put the radius in. You could do it either way. I'm going to hit apply. We're good to go. All right, so now we need the hole in the middle. I'm going to make a sketch on there. Point. All right, finish sketch. Do a hole. Okay, it's got counter bore hole that I did last time. Through wall is fine. Diameter 0.25, I think. Is that what it says? Yeah, it's going to be 0.25, 1/4 UNC is the screw that goes in there. All right. Let's see. It says it here. Oh, no, 0.28. So it's a clearance hole. But I'm just going to make it 0.28. It's a little bigger than the screw going in so the wheel can actually spin, right? So, you with me so far? No. All right. You have a specific question? Nope. No. How you doing back there, Brent?
I have everything done except for the six little three-looking shapes that are
Oh, okay, so check this out. The way I do that is from the back of the wheel. All right? From the back of the wheel, I'm going to go here, right? I'm going to draw some circles. There's two, it gives you the measurements. The radius of the inside is 0.37. The radius of the outside is 0.63. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a sketch on the back. I'm going to make two circles. I forget already what the dimensions were, but I'll go back and check. So I'm going to draw them first. I don't want them snapping anywhere. Escape. All right, so the radius of the inner one is 0.37. The outer one is 0.63. So remember, when you dimension a circle, it's the diameter. So 0.37 times 2. So I'm literally putting in the equation there to be able to do that. And then for this one, from this, oops, I'm going to dimension the outer one now. It's 0.63 times 2. All right? So I drew those two circles on the back. And now I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to draw a couple lines. Basically, I'm going to do some trims. So I'm just drawing a line, two lines out from the center. All right. Actually, you're going to need a construction line as well. Do a line, construction line on the positive x-axis there, whatever axis it actually is. So you're going to want a line on the horizontal axis there that is not a real line. It's a construction line. I want it there because I want to reference an angle like in the drawing. So what I'm doing is I'm going to use these angles now, 15 degrees from a horizontal up to that first line, and then another 30 degrees up to the top line. All right. I could have just done an arc, but I did the full circle. So now I'm going to do dimension. That construction line on the horizontal axis up to this line, I'll set that angle, 15 degrees. And then from this line to this line, it's got to be 30 degrees. All right. Then I'm going to do some trimming. It's a lot of trimming, actually. I'm only going to leave that part I'm going to cut out. See that? That's all I'm leaving of all that stuff I drew. How's it going back there? You got it? All right. I'm only leaving that little part I drew. You know, I'm sure some other people did it differently. Then I'm going to extrude that. I like to do the circular patterns after. You guys remember circular patterns? You guys remember that? Circular patterning? All right. So I'll show you that. So a circular pattern is right here. You can circular pattern in a sketch, or you can do it in solid body. Either way is pretty darn useful. So I'm going to do it in the solid body. It's usually better to pattern things that once they've already been extruded. That's the feature. Rotational axis. The beauty of doing it as a solid body pattern is you can pick any cylindrical, circular shape in your model, and it'll go around it. And I need 6 of them, and And that's it. 6 of them done. So you don't have to draw a ton of lines. You can just do one of them, then circular pattern it. It's better to do it after you've extruded it, because you can go back and change that first sketch if you need to, and it'll fix the other ones a lot easier. And then the final thing is to draw that peg, right? Bell's going to ring here in 3 minutes. This peg on the front, and that's pretty straightforward. You start sketching that plane, and ends up being one circle. I think I actually ended up doing extruded the first cylinder, then the second cylinder, and then put a point and made the hole. It's always better to use a hole rather than circles. So in this case, you can use a hole to make the hole, and you'll be good to go. That's a pretty good one. Cow catcher. That's kind of the last challenging one, I suppose. The general procedure for the cow catcher is to draw the bottom on the XZ plane, right? Draw the bottom shape on the XZ plane. Now let me get some rough dimensions here for the cow catcher. They're kind of hard to read. That's the other thing, right? 1.8 inches across, 0.25 inches there. The center of the bottom is 1 inch. Okay, so I think I got enough in my head to be able to start this. So this first part is 1.8. All right, zoom out a bit here, zoom in a bit over here. Oh boy. This next part is 0.25, and then this, I want to snap to the middle, I want to snap to that, and get zoomed in a little bit, down to there, dimension from, did you already start a print over there, or are you just getting it going? Don't start a print until I verified it. Look at this guy, he's just, overconfident, you're going to mess it up. He doesn't even know what was loaded in there last. Probably doesn't know what's loaded in there now. All right, so I finished that sketch. Then I'm going to do a plane offset from plane. All right, and I can't select it here. I have to go over here to the origin. And then how high is the cow catcher? Anybody offhand? 0.75. Okay, so I offset this 0.75. Now, the trick here is drawing this top part, and it helps to project a little bit of geometry in here. We start another sketch on this plane. I'm going to project, not too much. I want to project that. I want to project these points on the corners. All right, we're not going to use everything there. I know it's not as wide at the top, but so let me start drawing. I know it's even there. I know it wants to snap to the middle here, and it has to be. Oh, it's not snapping. There we go. We want it to be parallel to that other line, but we'll have to just mention that. All right, dimensions here. We need that one, so let's get that. That is, it's 1.20 wide, right? All right, 1.20 wide. The bottom is 1.8 wide. What's the difference between 1.8 and 1? Oh, it's you guys. I'm just going to finish this video up, though. Go ahead and sign off. Difference between 1.8 and 1.2. So check this out. When I want to center something, I do the difference, 1.8, that's the bottom, right? Minus 1.20 divided by 2. And what's that going to do is tell me how far that edge has to be. So now I know this side has to be 0.3 as well. And if you see, whoa, it went crazy, but that's all right, 1.2. Now this one, right, dimension from here to here to be 0.6, right? And that's going to center that tip there. Now from here to here is going to be 0.75. All right. Now I already know this should be 0.25. Yeah. Should be 0.25. Yeah. Finish sketch. And then I'm going to do the loft. And I'm going to stop it there. Loft. I want to do from this one up to this one. Solid output. I don't need to do any rails. Okay. Now, I'm going to make this work plane invisible. The way to know if it worked is when you make this shape. If you can select one of these planes, yeah, so it's flat. If you can't select one of those, then something about your two sketches when you lofted them is not lining up properly. Last thing, actually, is I'm going to shell this. All right? I'm going to remove this face. There we go. Shelled, removed, ready to go. You want to do that before you do anything else. All right? The other stuff's pretty self-explanatory. You put a sketch on here. You project the geometry and offset it, and then extrude it in. Do the same on the other side. Add the pegs to the back. Good to go. All right? Thanks a lot. Talk to you.